Hello everyone, and welcome to another Amigos play. I'm Aaron. Tonight we'll be playing the classic Amiga shooter, well I think it's classic anyway, New York Warriors. New York Warriors is a shooter in the vein of Ikari Warriors or Commando. It is a game that was produced by an outfit called Synergistic Software. It came out on the Amiga in 1990. I was surprised to learn that this had a DOS port, and I believe it also appeared on the Amstrad. It is a unique game to a certain degree for the Amiga. It was sort of an arcade shooter that was done well. Not that they all weren't great, but they weren't. Let's face facts. The Amiga had some good shooters and some bad ones. I think this is one of the better ones, though. As you can see here, you will have multiple enemies shooting multiple shots. I hate to use the phrase bullet hell, but eventually you're going to get into that. Game has a good variety of power-ups. It's got some unique, I guess, post-apocalyptic New York scenes or post-battle as you run through here. I like the fact that you have the ability. I like this. Here are the Ramboids. They're very sly, very clever. They look like Rambo. This game has pays a certain tribute to the blow 'em up, kill 'em movie genre that was prevalent in the late 80s and early 90s. I remember going down to my local Dairy Mart, and back in those days, every grocery store, every convenience store, every corner store, and every pharmacy had a video section. And we had a Dairy Mart, which was a little convenience store down the street that would charge you $1 a night to rent movies, and we'd rent a bunch of these crazy movies and sit around and watch them. And I've probably seen every bad film ever made. The shooting genre was not my specialty, but we saw a lot of those, and this would fit right in. And in fact, if you are familiar with a film from the 70s called The Warriors, then you will probably recognize a few of the gangs that are involved in this. One in particular are the Furies, or the Baseball Furies, I believe they were called, and they make an appearance in this game, an unofficial appearance, of course. There were a few other callbacks to that era, which we'll get to momentarily. I was a decent hand at this game, but I'm not great now. But I will do my best. But I would wager we will probably have to invoke the cheat to get past and see some of these other levels. New York Warriors, thankfully, has a robust cheat system that you really need to use. If you are in gameplay, you type in the word Waistvice, all one word, WAISTVICE, and then you will be able to use the function keys 1 to 8 to jump to any level you want. You can use T, G, H, F, and S to change to different weapons. And F9 gives you extra man, and F10 gives you invincibility. One note of caution: I'm playing the WHD load version of this on my 1200, and if you hit the F10 button to give yourself invincibility, you will exit the game, as I did the first time I tried to shoot this video. So be careful. So we took out the tanks. Now we're moving on to the second gang of goofs in this. These are the assassins. I usually get killed here. They aim to please. Wacky. And so we're going to try to get through their section of the city. This part here sort of has a Final Feel fight to it. In a way, Final Fight had those sections of the city you would have to go through one by one, each controlled by a different leader. The ninjas I always thought were pretty difficult and it's not really the ninjas are okay. It's just that the way this zone is wraps around, and it's a real pain in the butt because you don't have as much room to. You don't have as much forward looking as you seem to have on some of the other levels. So, but we'll give it a shot. The company that produced this is sort of an oddball company. Again, Synergistic Software. They had, looking over before I started this, looking over their other games, they only had a couple here that I'd played. They had a shooting game called Sidewinder, which I thought was a pretty decent one, and they had another game I'd played on a couple of different formats called Thexter, which is a Japanese shooter. I always thought that was kind of a neat game. The company probably long gone now, but since they published under Mastertronic, I'm guessing, I don't know if this was a budget title or not. Again, in the States we just didn't have any of these budget titles. I mean, this is just a foreign concept, so I don't know this seems like a pretty robust game to be a budget title, but I believe Mastertronics did a lot of budget stuff, so maybe someone can add that in the comments. I thought the music in this game was pretty neat. The fellow that did it, this was his only effort on the Amiga, which I guess is sort of a shame. His name was Matt Wright. He did a good job making this feel kind of eerie, and I always thought I always thought the game had pretty cool music myself. The game, it's funny, before I started playing, I had a look at the reviews. The reviews are pretty good for this game, it's it's deadgummit, wrong turn, Clyde. Excuse me. The reviews you got 4 out of 5s, and around 80% in a couple magazines. And there's a lot to like. You've got, among other things, 2-player simultaneous play, right? That's always a plus. And this is the kind of game where you could use an extra player, frankly. I know in the later levels of this game, it is. Well, I am playing on the easiest difficulty, and as you can tell, that hasn't helped me much. So you can imagine what it would be like to play on the hardest difficulty, which I believe is called Flame, or something like that. I just can't imagine how difficult it is there. I've not tried it, and I'm sure it's brutal. So we're getting ready to move past these ninjas and to explore this. Again, this is a part where you can get. Okay, we're moving on here to the ever popular baseball gang, if you will, the baseball furies. These guys are directly taken from the film, as you can imagine. They are, I don't know, pissed off baseball mimes who are coming at you. Except they in the movie, I believe they use ball bats. They've got automatic weapons in this one. And so, like I mentioned, we're going to just move along here and just go as far as we can. I usually don't get this far, to be completely honest with you, but, thank you, sweet, sweet cheating. So, you'll notice in this game, and I always like this, it's a nice touch. If you look real closely on some of the buildings, you'll actually see at least one ad for another game from these guys, and that game, I think I mentioned it earlier, is called Sidewinder, which is a space shooter that these guys produced that I kind of dug. So I like when guys in these games they find a good place to put a piece of art that will advertise their words. Hey, it's a good idea. I'm surprised more guys didn't do that. I mean, your Ataris and your Segas. It's a common occurrence in racing games, right? You got plenty of billboard space there. So, excuse me, we're going to try to get past these guys, and I believe the next level. I love the heat seekers. I believe the next level is the entrance to the sewer. And there's the escalator, so I'm right. We gotta, son of a gun. We gotta make it around the stupid wall. I hate when they shoot you through the wall. I can't shoot them through the wall. So we're gonna cruise around the corner here and see if we can't get past them. Excuse me. There's the jet guys keeping me honest. The jet packs. Seems like if your gang has that sort of technology, you could pretty much shut up. Oh, thank God I got one guy left. All right, we made it. Now here we go with the killer clowns. Wow, weapon of acid. Well, they maybe have taken some of their own weapon if they're going to be a gang looking like that, to be honest with you. But let's see how we fare. These guys weren't based in any of the shown gangs in the Warriors. There were a lot of gangs that were mentioned in that movie that weren't seen. I don't know if anyone out there has played the interesting game from Rockstar based on the film. It was out on the Xbox, the original Xbox, and I don't know what else it appeared on it. I'm going to assume it was on the PS2, but I don't know. It may have been an Xbox exclusive. I have it, and if you like the film, you'll probably like the game. It's pretty interesting. It's not your typical Rockstar game. There's a lot of diversity in it. It really does do a good job of staying in the spirit of the film. God, I hate these guys. They're almost impossible to kill, short of having the grenades. Oh gosh, I hate this, dude. This level is impossible. There's gonna be some skippage coming. I can tell you that right now, because this is a tough one to get past. There we go. All right. Here's the Rastafarian-looking dudes. This level's even harder than the last one. I love the flamethrower, but jeez, this game ramps up considerably after you get past the Furies, or the Sluggers, as they're called in the game. This level is just flat out stupid. It's like the Ghostbusters car parked. Well, that's not a good sign. Already dead once. So we're going to, yes. Oh, God, I hate to lose that. Yes, the ever popular barbed wire wall. Invisible walls. Well, son of a gun. Time to backtrack. These guys just look like crazy Rastafarians with underwear on. And automatic weapons. Okay. I can feel a skip coming on. We're going to try to get past the corner here. I just love that, guys on the roof. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Oh, so hard. 2 players right here would be a blessing. You get your buddy to come out here, and at least if anything, he could eat some bullets for you. Okay, screw this. We're going to go to the Sammys here. The Sammys. The Sammy Hagars. He looks pissed off. It says he's pissed off, and I'm assuming that's because he's predicting the future where he tours with David Lee Roth, and a hideous mistake. I actually saw Sammy in concert back in the early 2000s. It was just after he'd left Van Halen and was touring on the Marching for Mars album. Good show. He's a real down-to-earth guy when he's in concert, and he played our Municipal Auditorium and put on a great show. I was a big fan of his before Van Halen. I was a big fan of his... Alright, here we go. I was a big fan of his after Van Halen, but the Van Halen part, not great. There was some good stuff, but nothing super great. Okay, so this is bullet hell here. Now, this is truly a bullet hell with no patterns. This is just going in here and just getting smashed. And it's absolutely difficult. There's this crazy guy. Elevator, go, go! This will probably be the end, folks. If I get past this, it'll be a freaking miracle. The few times I've visited this level have been non-stop slaughter. So, God. I mean, honestly, I'd like to meet the man. Send me a message if someone can get past this without cheating. I want to shake your hand. Elevator. Okay, this is our last man, and well, let's have a look at this death scene. This is a cool death scene, actually. I've always dug. There goes New York. Well, hope you guys have enjoyed this quick look at the New York Warriors. A great game. If you get a chance to play it, give it a shot. For the Amigos, I'm Aaron. Adios. Have a nice night, everyone.